Let me ask. I have a question to ask both of y'all. It's been kind of a development with Penny's rotations, specifically in the starting lineup. I wanted to talk to y'all about starting Nick Jourdain and Nae'Quan Tomlin in the front court and having Jordan Brown and Malcolm Dandridge come off the bench. It's worked. So like I have no issues with that at all. Nae'Quan and Nick play well together.
It is kind of interesting, though. I think I know where you're headed.
Yeah,
like,
I definitely
if you mixed and matched those guys, you'd have, one slow, immovable object, one fast guy who can switch on the defensive end, has maybe a deeper offensive bag. Right. But now you're playing
the 2 and 2.
All right, I'm not calling them fat, but you're playing, you're skinny and fast, fat and slow.
Yeah.
And
together,
like separately. Those guys are not mixing and matching
at all. The same skill sets are playing
together. It's strange. I mean, Jordan and Malcolm didn't spend a whole bunch of time on the floor together, though.
That's true. Well, Malcolm was in foul trouble.
He was in foul trouble. That's why Jordan had, 12, 13,
and
14, 15 minutes. He played well.
Yes.
Played really well.
Yes.
He's still, man, he cannot get up and down the floor well enough for this team to be like a game-to-game, like consistent contributor. That's not – it's just – I think we should have – I know we talked about him being a Lou Henson Award winner and 6th Man of the Year and his previous stops and like all these different things and 19-9. We're talking about all these things. We should have paid attention to –
the style
he was playing at all of his 100%. Stops because – just the more you see him out there, even when he played in good, meaningful minutes against Tulane, that's not something that you can just consistently do.
This was never really a fit.
But I will say never. I asked Javon actually about it after the game, and he highlighted the fact that he's like, being able to have a guy that you could put in the post and isolate in that post and just get meaningful offensive possessions anytime you want is actually pretty beneficial for the Tigers.
If they find out how to weave that into their style now.
Right.
You have to literally change. Like, if you wanted to feature him, you'd have to switch up your entire pace.
Right. But you'd
have to slow it down to a halt play half court.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
But
I don't mind it because you have to.
This staff and Penny is never going to make a meaningful switch in game to play that way.
They did yesterday.
Not really. You still saw Jordan Brown struggling to get up and down the floor at times. It just worked because, everybody else was playing relatively well at that time, and he got some time alongside the starters.
That's true. And that's what I'm saying. Like, when you bring in a guy like Jordan who has the ability to isolate in the post and get some good buckets and get over his shoulder, whatever just get good shots off in the post. It really does, like, especially when you're playing alongside some of the better players, it just really keeps the defense honest, I think, in terms of, like, if he could pass it out to David Jones or to Javon or to Jaquan at the 3-point line, it just kind of spreads things out a little bit more.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And so it's definitely.
I did think he struggled passing a little bit in that game against Tulane.
Yeah. Listen, I think that there's still a lot to get used to with him, but I like what they're trying to do.
That it's an option.
What it could be, yes. Like,
that it's an option.
Yes, it's on the table.
All right.
And it does sort of show you why they sort of let him come back on the team.
I agree.